Today we got Róisín Murphy. I said that correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost.
Róisín. In my mind, I said it a million times, and then you say the wrong one. Right?
Yeah, that's always the way, isn't it?
But you can give me a little break. I'm American.
I give you a break for being American.
I'm sorry. Not these days. I mean, fuck those guys. Anyway, it's great to have you here today. I'm such a big fan.
Thank you.
As the show is Flirting with Friendship, I think for some time, Sim, I've been trying to become somewhat of an acquaintance.
We are acquaintances,
I think
for sure.
we were acquaintances, right?
Yes, and there's a mutual respect.
There, definitely.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've had some shows together. And
yes, I heard you playing in Manchester one night.
Manchester, and the kind of theme of the show is friendship. Friends. Friends, basically. And this is Bill. Bill is my best friend. We did a book together. And one thing that's always kind of struck me that's really kind of cool about your career is the friendships you have and the collaborations. Like collaborations, I think, always been a theme of your music and career.
Crucial.
It's crucial, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, or?
I do a bit of everything, so I'll make the videos, I'll do the art direction, and I style myself and all that. So I'm really into visual stuff.
So that's Róisín Murphy, as I incorrectly said it a million times before she came on. Mercury Prize nominee, Brit Award nominee, International Festival headliner, and somehow still one of the most underrated artists of her generation. What she is doing here, sitting with us, especially next to me, I have no idea. We should ask her. From Moloko's Sing It Back to solo albums like Róisín Machine. From Moloko's Sing It Back to solo albums like Róisín Machine, she's built a career on doing things her way. Never bound to a genre, always glamorous, always a little weird. Same like me, always glamorous. Her live shows, like her records, are an experience, and it's all built on her vision. She's a true artist, honestly, and she's got better style than anyone in this building. If you're just discovering her now, lucky you, enjoy.
But I'm very aware that the very center of it is the music. So the biggest choice that I make is who I make the music with, because I don't make music. I sing, I write the lyrics and so on. And so it's extremely important that it's the right person or persons that I make the project with musically.
Yeah. It's my 20-year anniversary this year, and I feel the first Moloko album was 95, correct?
Yes.
So it's 30 years for you.
Yeah.
Going up is the easy part.
Right.
But the consistency, I think, is really like the hardest, right? How do you stay after all these years and keep reinventing yourself? I mean, is it just that we're both mad, or?
I don't know. I feel like I never went up, in a certain kind of a way. In that, it's always a fight. It's always like it's got to be really great what I do, because I never feel there. I don't know about you, but
I feel the same.
I just never feel there.
Totally.
Ever. And I think maybe that's a blessing in a sense, because if you felt like suddenly you were there and you could put your feet up, that would be the time that you might not make such good work,
Definitely. I always feel like believing in your own shit too much is when you start to slide, the too many yes people around, or believing that you're somebody, is kind of a thing I think many artists fall into, where they're like, oh, I'm this, and you're just like, God, I'm just, me and Bill are always like, I'm just a piece of shit. I'm like a fucking...
Well, there's a great quote that I take from Ira Glass from This American Life, and it says, for those of us who are not hopeless egomaniacs, there's a normal balancing of believing you're a somebody, but also believing you're a nobody.
Yeah.
And just having to stay. And I think we kind of, especially artists, tend to go a little extreme on both ends sometimes, but I mean, I think it's always never be hot, always be warm, and you stay warm. Yeah, staying warm gives you a little bit more of that drive to just keep going.
Craig Richards once told me, he's like, I've never considered myself a professional. And I was like, why is that, Craig? He's like, because if you're an amateur, no one can ever accuse you of being unprofessional.
I heard something the other day about how professional is a terrible word. and that amateur is a beautiful word because it comes from amour, from love.
Well, love actually is kind of a theme, it seems, often in your music.
Wanting it.
Yeah, why, same.
Please love me.
For me, what about me? Can someone love me how I want to be loved? Forevermore, a great example of that. Like every time you play it, it's like a room full of people singing about this love, or even, all your work has this thing.
I kind of enjoy keying into the part of my character that's vulnerable in love, that's not, I would never dream of playing the part of, don't try to play me, I'm so strong. There's a lot of that in music, there's a lot of that in songwriting in the last 20, 30 years.
But less of that in life.
But less of that in life, and certainly less of it in real love, I think. But I'm quite happy to be a strong woman on the one hand, but strong enough to show vulnerability.
Which is like so important. With any relationship, I know you're married with 2 kids, but the part of, I think, having, especially with children, is being able to be vulnerable and like kind of this pass and go of, It's kind of funny as well, because I know Sebi is also a musician.
Yeah, and he's a producer. Yeah, he can play a little.
Yeah, he can play.
He plays a little.
You're like, he's a producer. He's
a
an
musician
engineer.
is pushing it and such.
You're like, don't give him too much credit, right?
No, he's really good with the music.
Yeah,
he's good with the music, as they say.
So, also, you've worked with, Herbert.
Yeah.
I know Co's more recently, or Katza is the correct way to say it. And also all the incredible remixes you've had all the years. How do you choose people to work with? Is it based on friendship?
It is, mostly, actually. It's never somebody, like a group of people around a boardroom going, right now, what's Róisín Murphy going to do next? Ever. It's never that. It's always like, it's there in my life. It's usually just right beside me. I don't have to reach out too far to pull it in, And because I started very accidentally, really, as a singer, fell into it with Moloko, fell in love with a guy, and the same night I was recording stupid stuff in his studio, just saying nonsense, really.
And he's like, well, what a nice voice you have.
No, I was saying, like, do you like my tight sweater? And things like that, and just messing about and falling in love at the same time, with no idea that I was even a singer, and then got a record deal before I really had sang. So it was out of my depth at all times throughout my career. It's like if you don't feel that you don't know what you're doing, then you're kind of in a bad place almost. It's like you have to feel like you're learning and you're doing something more than you expected from yourself. And Moloko really was a relationship first and then a kind of a band second.
That's incredible. Because you guys produce so many timeless songs. But I guess it's coming from that amateur kind of perspective.
Well, he wasn't an amateur, but I definitely was. But he was already, 15 years into a kind of very busy and productive producer career, and he was a great musician, and he had built Fon Studios in Sheffield. He produced all sorts of people, and it was kind of a miracle that he wanted to do that with me. But I think we just wanted to be together and have an adventure, and kind of went into it fearlessly.
Adventure is a great word, because I feel like a lot of your music, or just your personality, is adventurous, right? You like to have a bit of fun. Also when you perform, more than anything, I like how you kind of cast yourself on stage, right? How you work that stage is kind of almost like a Grace Jones in a way, like really taking fearlessly over the stage. With that adventurous side, that also kind of, does that influence how you write your music?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very open-minded about music. And I've never, ever, as I said, sat down with a record company around a board table and thought, what do I have to do next to reach this audience or that audience?
I had read in or listened to another interview, but a lot of the songs, and you would go down to sit and work, you have a backlog of like ideas and kind of writing. So like with your writing process, so you're just kind of like texting, because I know for me, like I just like write notes all the time.
Yes,
When
yeah.
I come up with an idea, and it's like often in strange places, and I'm like, oh, that's like good, you know, kind of in this,
Yes.
like, it's like the idea sphere is there, right? And you have
Absolutely.
all these everyday things happening, and you're just kind of like, oh, fuck, that would make a good song. So it's kind of the similar approach.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely open-minded when I'm listening to things, hearing people speak, reading things, watching films, watching documentaries, whatever it is. I'm listening because I'm a lyric writer, and also, Mark really taught me that's the guy in Moloko, that lyrics had to be good. They had to be more than, he used to say to me, there's too many yous and me's and things like that. And so we really looked for words and phrases and ideas that were interesting or out of the box, or that might, I look for things that maybe might work forwards as well as backwards, if you know what I mean, or mean more than one thing.
And double entendres.
Now, doing it 30 years, sometimes the songs mean something different to me now than they were when I wrote them.
Yeah, the more life you have.
Exactly, yeah.
People like us being in this for so long, I mean, back to friendship, we've loved and lost so many in this industry. Sometimes I look at other people and I'm like, do you guys' friends die as much as mine? Because like at some point, I don't know about you, but it gets a little tiring. You're just like, God, another great one's gone. And there's been so many times listening to your music. I mean, really, especially the Maurice Fulton Glass House. Wow, when that record came out, I danced by myself, like in my living room, those like moments where you just kind of have put the record on, a little disco dance to your own, and you can just really the feeling yourself. Like when you had in the pandemic, all this time, and you were just like dancing in your living room,
right.
smoking spliffs. That kind of reflective point for artists is really important, but also for friendships. Have you lost or found friendships or regained friendships over time?
Yeah, I mean, I do pretty good job at holding on to friends and collaborators, which are the same thing for me. But I've lost people as well. I mean, I don't think maybe as many people have died for me as you. This might be coming round the corner, so I don't really want to jinx it.
Yeah, you can knock on the magic 8 ball there, give it a little touch of magic.
But yeah, I mean, you lose people along the way, you gain people along the way.
Yeah, I think now people can become so, like, polarized.
We have a lot of schism.
Yeah, schism, right? It's like
in our sort of supposed scene.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's funny because before everyone in the scene was the scene was
you
the safe
wouldn't even
space.
Think that it could even happen.
No, it's
that.
it's absurd to me at times. Really, also how willing people are to take down a good person over nothing, right, or small things or misunderstandings. And I feel like right now in life, we should just be more open with each other. And it's okay to have some different views here and there. But generally, we're still the same people, Yeah,
I think it was easier to have those different views years ago for a multitude of reasons. But also, I think when you look specifically at something like the scene or the music scene or the dance music scene or whatever, the idea that there should be no compromise is ridiculous. You can't have an us unless you have a compromise.
Yeah.
There is no us.
That's relationship. That's
compromise.
Friendship, right?
Exactly.
Right? And it's like, it's actually like a really bad friend.
Yeah.
To like the scenes become a really bad friend to like expect you to like everyone to be this perfect person. I'm like, it's like a bad
Or just
cat.
everyone the same, or just everyone making the same sounds or having the same opinions. It doesn't make for a rich environment.
Especially for creativity.
No, it was very killing for creativity.
So your dad did pubs growing up. So did you?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
did you grow up kind of hanging
business.
out around that and music? Is that how the music came to you?
Yeah, I mean, he used to bring me. Yeah, sometimes he'd just say, "Come on," and we'd go long drives all over the country.
Like listening to music in the car.
He'd sing. He sang non-stop. My dad, non-stop. He sang everywhere. And he knew hundreds of songs.
Oh, that's incredible. So that's probably where it kind of started for you, in a way.
Yes, absolutely.
I can't remember a song lyric if you fucking slap me.
No, neither can I, honestly, the truth be known. But Irish people at that time would always know 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 or 100 songs, you know, depending on who you were. You'd always had to know 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And be able to sing it a cappella in any situation.
I remember once we had, I did a song for Tief Schwartz, and they went to shoot the music video, and I couldn't get the words right once, like for myself, like, and they had to scrap the video.
Oh,
it was
no,
it was a whole thing, and I was there just like, what the fuck, guy, you know? But that kind of old family attitude. At home with your kids, do you find, I mean, I'm a parent too, you know, we're both happy parents. Do you sing a lot with your kids, or do they find you just like whatever?
I do. I sing at them. I tend to sing at them. whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about them lately is they'll keep wanting me to sing Ramalama Bang Bang, which is the big one for their generation, because it kind of is a little bit viral, or it's quite a lot viral.
Yeah.
So, like our generation, I have friends here I have a friend, really good friend of mine, who always annoys me every time we go out. When she gets drunk, she starts going, "Sing it back to me," you know. So obviously, to our generation,
Sing It Back
it's
and
the
Forevermore,
Sing It Back, and Time Is Now, and so on. But for their generation, weirdly, it's Ramalama Bang Bang, and it's still relevant to them.
I mean, I don't even know that one. Like, that's a lot about my age.
It's one of the weirdest songs I ever made, you know, really. But it became like a viral thing for people doing dances to it. And now it's sort of morphed into these weird memes, you know, that my kids see.
So they like your kids like your meme fame.
They like meme fame, exactly. The stuff that just absolutely is irrelevant to Róisín Murphy, you know. Ramalama lives in its own universe, away from me and everything else.
They're like, Mom, this is cool.
That's cool, but the rest is not.
My kids, I got this funny thing where like people walk up to me for photos, and my kids just think it's like normal to say hello to everyone, and people want pictures with them all the time. But I'm like trying to, like normally I'm like, no. And they're like, my kid's like, why do people ask you for pictures all the time? And I'm like, oh, you know, I make music. And he's like,
I don't want them to want to be famous.
No, I hate that.
I didn't want to be famous, you know. I wanted to be an artist. And so I just keep trying to establish that with them, you know. It's not about wanting to be famous. It's about wanting to do something good.
That's the thing. It's like painters paint every day. They wake up and paint no matter what. And I feel like a really good artist or musician, no matter what, if we had our success or not, I feel like we would still be writing lyrics, writing things down.
Or making cakes. In
my
my case at the moment.
I love to cook. Let's talk about cooking.
No, because I mean, that's all I do is cakes. I don't do anything else.
Just cakes, yeah?
Cakes lately, yeah.
What's your favorite cake? This is the real stuff. This
what
is
like
real
my favorite cake?
Right?
Well, I'm favorite. I don't know. I love all cakes, but I've been doing a lot of the Italian recipe crostata, which is like a jam tart. I do that a lot, and I do Victoria sponge. I do really mean brownies. So on,
A hash brownie here and there?
No, those days are gone. Playing with the hash and the brownies.
I can't bake. I'm more of a grill kind of, and like actually I cook everything.
Good.
I'll get you some barbecue sauce. I have this like 3-generation barbecue sauce. It's banging. And it seems like you guys are always having dinner parties and all this stuff when it comes to Ibiza.
Yeah.
Do you find in Ibiza you found kind of a home with like your friends here?
Oh, definitely,
more than London?
Yes. And just I feel more like it's more like I'm giving my children something more like my childhood by being here, which is to say they're around a lot of very silly adults, you know, that haven't really grown up either. But we're here for each other, you know. I feel like if Clodagh gets lost on one side of the island, somebody will find her, or you know, like
there is kind of a
she
community
did a thing
here.
the other week where she did some hitchhiking. But she was seen.
The kids do that.
She was seen. And so, like, if they do something dangerous in London, I'm never going to find out about it.
Yeah.
But here, there's eyes everywhere, you know, a bit like Ireland when I was
It's
a
also
kid.
a bit like the childhood. Like, I grew up in the rural area as well. and it's like you would get in trouble all the way home.
Yes,
you know, it's like back those are the days when you could get a spanking still. It's like you'd get like 3 by the time you got home. Just like fuck, I guess like keeps you out of trouble in like many ways, you know. So I mean, with working here, I mean, living here, have you started working on more music here, or do more travel away for that kind of process?
I have been touring a lot, on and off a lot since I did the last album.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't been writing much. But I have like a load of songs there that are just near, only need a finishing touch. But I don't really want to finish them at the moment. It's just like I'm being mom, and there's absolutely no question. My son even picked out an apron for me the other day. I'm going very trad wife.
Oh. Trad wife is a luxury.
Little pink apron that we found. He's like, get it. You look amazing in it.
Make us more cakes.
Make more cakes.
Yeah, it's like the soft hint from your child that like he wants more cakes. He's like, I found you an apron today.
But at the moment, there's definitely no question, as far as they're concerned, is what my priority is. They know that they're my priority at the moment.
That's got to feel great, you know?
Yeah, it does actually. Feels nice at the moment. It might start getting boring. I don't know, but I'm enjoying
so many
it.
years, your kids are a bit older. You said 15 and 12.
That's right. It feels like it might just disappear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the beginning of my kind of child thing, you know, and I got a 4-year-old basically and a 2-year-old later in September. But it feels like that time goes so fast. But being a parent as like a traveling artist, how is that for you? Like to keep this career for 30 years, have kids, have those relationships, and still seems like a normal, sane person, you know? Like
That's depends on who you ask. How do you do it?
You present yourself well.
I definitely have called my own shots over the years, and I've made records. Certainly in the second half of my career, I would make a record and then sign it. You know what I mean? So it was always in my own time, in my own way. And then touring. So touring, yes, you might need to do 1 or 2 actual tours, after your album comes out or whatever, which could be 3-4 weeks away from home.
Yeah, I do 2 weeks max type thing. Yeah.
Then in the summertime, and the main sort of gist of year in, year out, it's the weekends,
Yeah.
So that's really, really manageable.
Yeah, I say that like people like us get actually kind of, in a way, more time with our families, because we get like everyone else, they work, they drop their kids off, they come home at 7 o'clock.
There was none of that with us, no.
You know what I'm saying? Then they get the weekend when they kind of want to wind down. Yeah. I'm away on the weekend, but in the week I'm like, yo, dad's back,
Yeah.
But still I find it like not difficult, but it's especially in the beginning of like a marriage and childhood, you're really trying to put it all together, You had it kind of after already 20 years of success and kind of like being there.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like starting all over again, because I did the odd single here and there after my first child was born, but for a major project, it was like 8 years in between.
Yeah.
Until I came with Hairless Toys, which was an album that I made with a very close friend of mine, Eddie Stevens, who's my musical director live and has been since Moloko.
Yeah.
So it felt like I was away from music for a while. Not really so much for me. I was actually DJing and stuff.
Don't you have a DJ gig coming up?
No, I don't DJ. I feel an idiot
I swear I saw...
I'm no good. I'm also very judgmental about other DJs. I've got no right whatsoever to
let's
DJ.
get into that.
As
right
you should.
I'm super judgmental.
We got a smile.
I'm a bitch.
This is
I'm
what
perked up for you. Hold on.
we're here for.
I was watching I was watching you the other day on your socials, and you were like going around like this with your head.
It's so...
It's like, why? And I do that, and I'll be like, they are stabbing music. They're killing it. They take music and they strangle it like this.
It's funny because it's like, I know your live show is totally live. It's always been a live show.
Yes.
It's not just like a tape or anything like
so
that.
So kind of DJing felt like just bad sex, or, just like compared, it's just tantric compared to DJing, you know, when you're live with a band and they're all live and it's intense and it's really complicated.
And there's
it's not something
mistakes.
I'm the one that doesn't sort it all out. Eddie sorts it all out really in the most part.
You just have to get up there and look fabulous.
I have to get up there and look fabulous, which isn't easy. But
Hail the Queen.
I do say I know I want to do this song and that song and the other song and what have you, and I have input. But Jesus, what he does is incredible because you know I make these sort of weird records and they're mostly studio records, and that really also separates, I guess, the men from the boys. Is like if you can make these unique sounding records with these unique producers. And then turn it into something live that really is genuinely live. It's kind of miraculous, you know, that he can do that.
It's so impressive. You know, I've seen it like 5 or 6 times throughout my life. And every time I'm like, 1, how does she get the energy? And 2, the tightness of the live
band
performance.
Are just unbelievable at the moment. The best band I've ever had. They just bit by bit change this one. Slowly just... They're just an amazing group of musicians and they can all play more than one thing and they swap things around and it's crazy. It's brilliant.
You were saying earlier this kind of thing that, you know, and I was kind of agreeing, like, you've never said, like, I've made it, right? Does it frustrate you? Because I know it doesn't frustrate me, but it slightly irritates me. When you see other groups or people who've become massively successful, massively rich, and are basically up there lip singing when you're like performing.
No. I used to say to
performing for your life. You know?
I used to say to Stefan Sarkozy, you know, like it's so easy for you, you know, you just turn up with a stick and stick it in, and away you go, and you get paid as much as I do, and and he goes, no, I don't just come with this stick. He said, I also have a box with 2 champagne glasses.
You've got such a weird sense of humor as well. It's like almost on the borderline of autistic.
No, I also have the box with the 2 champagne glasses.
Kose actually means puke, right? Katza.
Or snot.
Yeah, something like that.
I think, or grub, you know. Like,
it's like, so it's a piss stick to begin with, you know? I find it funny. I saw this guy the other day. I'm not going to say his name because I'm trying to not be that person anymore. It's been hard. But like, I saw in some videos online, and we had a thing, because you know how this whole whose name is da-da-da, you know, and I was doing this festival, and then I was like trying to put this guy's, and I was like, this isn't, no. And I never really make a fuss about things. And I started looking online, and I was like, this motherfucker doesn't even use headphones, right? So I was thinking in my mind a little bit, and then I saw him at this festival over there, and I was like, hey, what? I go, Seth, nice to meet you. I was like, hey, so let me ask you a question. Do you have headphones? And he's like, no, I don't use headphones. And I was like, so how does that work? Like, how do you do this? And he's like, oh, I play mostly my own songs. And I'm like, so you do the same thing? Like, how? And he kind of like, then he's like, well, you know, I did used to wear headphones, but it was more for ear protection.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, hold yourself, Seth. Like, hold it fucking together. It's frustrating, though.
You can't be frustrated by it, though. You really have to not allow yourself.
Irritated.
You know, at the same time, you know, I could say to you, we put all the effort in, and there's 14 people in the touring, and then there's like fucking 20 suitcases of clothes even, you know, never mind the gear. It's insane what goes on to make this show happen and so on. And then you turn up and play a festival, and then a DJ comes on, and and they go even, and you think you've done a good gig, and then they go even more mad for the DJ,
like the first gig.
And it's like, I grew up around live music. I grew up looking at musicians interacting with each other and knowing that's a bass sound and that's a guitar sound and that's a sax and that's a trumpet and that's a this and that's a, you know. But there's some people in the audience there that don't know where the sounds are coming from, so it doesn't make any difference to them that it was difficult to do, or that everybody's virtuoso musicians. They actually don't know
at all
that they're playing anything, or they would get more out of it if they concentrated more. But then that takes
patience and engagement.
Yeah, attention.
Attention, which is what's lacking.
Attention.
Yeah, we're like the attention deficit, like age,
generation.
right?
Yes, it's true, yeah.
Where it's gone so far away from our generation being a music-based experience where you are so excited to go out, to hear new music, to be inspired by something new. Like you're saying with your kids, if it's on TikTok, then it's exciting, right?
Yeah.
And like with making music, do you find that has any influence, or you're just like, I don't give a fuck?
Maybe it's why I haven't made a bloody song in the last year. I don't know. Or I haven't got urgency in me to create music at the moment. That's to be honest with you, for sure. I don't know what all the reasons are. There's probably a multitude of reasons for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's... Do they even deserve it? You know what I mean? You're kind of like...
Actually, that is the
so
best.
much effort in, and like...
That is the best
But
response.
it's negative. It's too negative. It's not true either. I mean, obviously, there are fabulous people out there who, I don't know about you, but that like my music and that come and see me play and so on. And I do owe this incredible life that I've had, which has been amazing. So far, so good, you know, to them. But on the other hand, there is this sense of, what's it for, Alfie? What's it all about?
Why have I given my life to this?
No, not why have I given my life, because actually I would do that in a heartbeat all over again. But do I have the energy now? When am I going to have the energy? For what? For what reason?
Yeah, I feel that sometimes even when I play. Like, sometimes, like, you know, it's like I had to go play a panorama bar or other things, you know, and it's just like, it's so soul-filling. And then other times I'm up there like... Fuck me.
You're alone as well. I mean, I think that does make it harder, the DJing too.
Much.
Because we're there with a group, like a family. And if you're not getting it from the audience, then where are you going to get it?
That's the thing. It's the symbiosis. Like, you can give a good performance, I always say, when they're giving back to you, or where there's it's a symbiotic relationship, right? And I don't think a lot of people understand that. They're like, or they're just like, just play the bangers. And you're like, this is a banger, but it's just a chill banger.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it doesn't have to be in your face, you know?
Yeah. You don't want to have to fulfill some sort of preordained, as an artist, you just don't want to have to fill a preordained idea.
Like, why does it have to be this?
I have, as I said to you, I don't understand the mentality of starting a creative thing for them. You know, for me.
100%.
It's always for me. And then if you want to come along,
you're welcome.
Brilliant, absolutely marvelous, lovely.
Yeah.
But the initial thing is like,
it's
I have to do it so I think it's good. You know, and I don't know what the description of what I think is good, and that can change day to day and so on. But it has to be that.
I feel the same way, actually, because also we share mutual friend groups where, like, when you're around people. Bill used to do his parties back in New York. He's semi-retired now. It's about just doing what you think is cool. I tell that to young kids. I'm like, it's not about what the fuck I'm doing or what you looking left or right. Like, what do you and your friends have a laugh at? And like, that's what it's really about, you know?
If young people said to me, what's it about? It's about putting the hours in. It's about, if you want to be a DJ, go out a lot. Also, by the way, it's not about buying a laptop.
Yeah.
And sitting at home and thinking, how can I be a famous DJ?
100%.
You have to go out. You know, I used to go out in Sheffield 4 nights a week to the same handful of DJs, like 4 DJs, every week, week in, week out.
Who were they?
Well, there was Parrot.
Yeah.
And then there was Winston Hazel and Pipes and some others, you know, but really they were the main two, actually. Winston and Pipes were the main two. And I would hear them 3 times a week. And they would do their own parties, you know. They would create their own thing. They never became like super duper famous DJs.
Yeah.
But they made their own parties, created their own vibe. If they were playing in like a small place, you'd have certain vibe and you'd learn something about soul music or funk or whatever. And then they would play in a different place and it would be all house. And then they would play in a different place and it would be like a mixture between techno and, you know, dance hall, and they could do it all, you know, and they kept putting the hours in, and we did going out, put the hours in.
Like you said, going out is so important. Even if you want to work in this or work in anything, you know, you have to get really into it. I think maybe it's possible that younger generations just find it to be easy.
You do have to cultivate a gang as well a little bit, like
get yourself some friendships,
some friends, and we're together, and we see things the same way musically and creatively and what have you. And there's a lot of young people don't think they have to do that. They think they can get plugins and the thing and the da-da-da and off they pop.
Get on social media and make some...
Get on social media, extract some of my vocals from AI with AI, stick it on a Dumpty Dumpty Dumpty,
sample,
stick it up
sampling,
for free,
sampling,
stick it up for free on, SoundCloud, and off they pop. But no, it's not simple as that. You're 10 a penny, and you're never going to find a point of difference like that.
Yeah,
you're only
become
going to
different.
Be usurped by AI yourself eventually.
Like an episode of Black Mirror, all these Róisín Murphy.
Who really cares anyway? I don't know, but I really used to care, and my gang used to really, really, really care. We cared about everything. We cared about every record that went on there. And if you came and pushed one of those DJs off and you weren't up to it, then you had me and Barbara telling you to get the hell off. Winston back on.
This happened to us.
That's
yeah.
I mean, that's how our crew grew up. One thing we kind of skipped over, and something that I always, one of the big parts of your kind of persona is this amazing costumes, right? I don't know where you get them from. I've heard you go to student shows, or is that...
There's a bit of that, yes.
Is that how, where do you get because some of these outfits are just...
It's chaos. It's literally chaos, and I do the styling myself, and I don't plan it super far in advance, like say for a show, I just start collecting things and bringing things somehow come to me, and then on the first day of the tour is usually when I start working out what I'm going to wear. It's all there in a ridiculous amount of boxes the size of caravans sometimes.
And also the art direction of your albums, Hit Parade was far fucking out, both musically and art.
I needed it to be far out to match the music on Hit Parade. I needed, it didn't seem like I could just be gorgeous, and all perfectly lit and everything. It didn't seem like that would say what was inside the record.
Yeah.
So, I went a bit woohoo on that one. And Róisín Machine was more like she was a character that I was playing, and she was like a punk disco.
Yeah, Debbie and Betty Harry vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of more. Yeah, also a little bit. There was a lot of Poison Ivy, and I was doing what I didn't feel I was doing was a disco album. You know, I felt like that stuff that I do with Parrot is Sheffield music.
Yeah.
It's got this ruthless sort of clang to it that Sheffield's got.
They say it's grim up north, right?
It's got a grim, ruthless, sort of rigid structure, and it's in the bass. It's kind of, and we call it a clang. That was Winston named it the Sheffield Clang, which is because Sheffield was a steel city. It was a city that made steel. So all that kind of early house music, and even
very much like Detroit, it's these industrial cities that ended up
industrial something.
Glasgow
under
was a shipbuilding city.
Yeah.
It's always these cities that come from kind of quite middle class. I'm middle class backgrounds that you get these kind of artists. But I think music now has also become quite a privileged entry point for so many people.
Any art, I think.
Yeah.
It's a very dangerous place for the creative arts to be in, for it to be so ridiculously expensive and out of reach for working class people.
Yeah, because working class people have the real soul.
They do the real shit.
The real shit, motherfucker. That's the real shit right there.
I don't like being classist about things, but I think it should be open to people, and it's not, and that's not a good thing.
It's I remember my friend Craig Richards. He was saying, I'm a fan of Pink Floyd, right? And he was saying how when he was in art school, he used to always hate Pink Floyd.
Because they were posh.
Because they were posh, right? And I was like, really? He was like, we were so anti them because they played these far-out kids. But really, they were just a bunch of posh fuckers. And I was like, wow, it kind of a little bit took a little away from me. And I was like, yeah.
They were MK Ultra.
I like that. Let's get into that. I'm like, yeah, like a little freak box over here.
It's not that kind of podcast, I don't think.
No. We're not on Joe Rogan. So we're not getting, like crazy into like coming up with like funny conspiracies. But it's like, it is funny how we're living in this world where both truth and there is no more truth. It's like a post-truth world. Well, like in a way, you know, like opinion or kind of the louder you talk, the more real it's become, you know. And I think that's kind of a dangerous place for us all to sit in because it doesn't allow any conversations or anything. It's just it's a bit bullshit.
It's bullshit.
I mean, and like we got like Donald Trump's the president. It doesn't allow for a sense of humor either, to be honest. I mean, humor, I feel like everything should be open. Just that should be open for absolutely fair game. It gets really bland in life when you can't make fun of each other. Yeah. You know? Sure. Like the po-facedness of it all is just dire. I grew up with some, like, dare I say, kind of good old boys in the country type situation, right? And, like, we were very different, you know. Well, like they were even probably pretty racist, you know, but we would like hang out, smoke joints, you know, like kind of do stuff, get beers in the woods. Well, that's how things get better, isn't it? That's how the best. You evolve. You know, like, you like tripping, I like tripping too. Yeah. Hell yeah, let's go get it. You know? like some of those relationships, we didn't keep them over the years, but they were great relationships and they gave me a great perspective of the world. I just wish more people would see, like, past, like, this kind of, like we were beginning to say at the beginning, like, just kind of open yourself up. Oh, yeah, know? Totally. I mean, we don't got to get into that type of stuff, but open yourself up to some love. You can love everybody, you know? There's been things where I've just seen, like, somebody gave me a Róisín Murphy. They made it, you know. It's the most incredible thing. It's a Russian doll, you know, where you... Like a nesting doll. If you're like American, you have to call it nesting doll. You can't say Russian doll anymore? Well, yeah, I did a I did a little film of me opening this doll, and it was like me, you know, Róisín machine me inside. Then there was overpowered me, and then there was, you know, sing it back. That's me inside. Cool. It was so cool, you know. And and there was all these people like, how can you do this? You know, this is like... Oh, because it's Russian. See what Russia's doing to blah, blah, blah. God. Give me a fucking mercy. Come on.
You support the war.
What are you talking about? Like,
you know what? Ms. Known in London and Paris and New York, Israeli rock spot, I fucking love it. I love it. Ms. Known. Best hummus in New York. It's incredible. Oh, you're not allowed to have that? I can't have hummus. Bake that shit up. I can't have Israeli hummus anymore. What the fuck? Best hummus going. What are you talking about? Put it in my fucking mouth. This is delicious. I'm like, just because your government sucks. I mean, I always like, don't, like, glass houses. Don't throw shit at glass houses when you're American. I'm like, I got the most... We've disrupted every fucking country in the world, every fucking war. It was us, all right? So don't come over here with your fucking Mr. blah, blah, blah. When you're like, I have to say that I was really enjoyed myself in America the last time I toured there, and it was during the election. I'd have like a group of friends backstage or whatever, and I'd just come out with God bless America. And people's arseholes would immediately just type like this. God bless America. God bless America. I'd say, and all Americans like, That's a good joke, though. That's fun. It's good. Yeah. It's good. It's like, come on, I'm being nice about you, but they don't. There's a lot of self-loathing, you know. Oh my God, let's not do that. If you want to talk about self-loathing, this is the guy.
But I mean,
God bless America.
No, I'm okay. Any patriotism?
I'm okay.
Any patriotism, it's a little bit like, yeah, of course. Because automatically you hear like a USA chant or God bless America, and people are like, you go straight to MAGA. And you go straight to that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but you know, like at the same time, you I get that, but you know, you're also baby bathwater scenario, no?
I mean,
like you should feel not too bad about yourself all the time, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Really?
People shouldn't feel bad about themselves all the time.
Is that going to be great for us,
You know?
or what?
It's going to make it worse.
Or
it makes
the
it
world?
more segregated. You know,
Exactly.
let people like, for example, I have one of my best friends, godfather to my kids, right? Still one of my best friends. His family literally put Boris Johnson in power.
Oh, nice.
Not my favorite prime minister, but you know what? Best friend. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. He's like
Hilarious.
He's hilarious, you know?
You're an evolved human
What are we
being
having
if
for
you
dinner?
can do that.
What are we having for dinner?
Exactly.
What are we going to go laugh
Because it's not
about?
all about that.
It doesn't fucking
Life's not
matter.
all about, do we agree on this checklist?
You don't have to agree on everything.
It's not that.
You
Life
don't.
is about something else, other
Because
things.
there's still good people who have different fucking views than you. And that's important to understand. You know, and the older I think you get, the more, because when you're young, you know, you're so idealistic, you know, and I love that youth idealism, and I'm idealistic myself. I mean,
Were we idealistic about those things? I don't think I was. I was idealistic about art and about music and about...
100%. I mean, I was a little, I've been political
Maybe I
about
didn't
some
have
things.
that pressure on me that young people have now.
Yeah, I think it's more of a pressure thing to, like, especially with Gen Z, to get everything so right.
So right, yeah.
You know, and I think with the social media, I mean, your kids must face that a little bit.
Hopefully, you know, we taught them how to have a sense of humor.
I think probably definitely.
Yeah, no, it's been borderline now and again, but I feel like they are going to actually end up with a sense of humor.
They're going
my
to get it at
kids.
one point.
Yeah.
It's going to click in.
It's already there, I think, yeah.
I remember my musical taste kicking in. Like, my parents are diehard Prince fans.
Fair enough.
And fair enough. But until I was about 13, 14, could not stand Prince.
Really?
I just was like, oh, what is this? You know, he's dressing up like a girl. What's going on? Like, blah, blah, like, you know, like, oh, this is stupid. I don't like that. Then it hit me. And my parents, like, they're together. Like he's finally, the penny's dropped. He's finally come.
Bless them.
Come on, boy. Let's put on Little Red Corvette again, you know? I'm like, ooh, like dancing around. It's funny how you see yourselves and your children, you know, and the people you hung out with. Like you were saying, like, it's so important to have your kids around these really interesting groups of people. Like when I was a kid, all my parents' friends were in reggae bands and like lived on communes and were like, or DJs. My stepfather had a radio show and all this stuff. And it kind of like really like influenced me massively, I think, later in life. Because you see all these different walks of life. You're hanging out with hippies on a commune and you find it quite normal, like your parents and their far out friends, you know? And Bill, you know Cosmo, my son. He's like, the other day he said the most fun thing. He was like, Dad, I love Ibiza. You can be yourself. I was like, he's 3. I was like, you're 3 and you're dropping by and
you can be yourself.
And then did this with his knees. Like, ooh. I was like, it's so amazing. But yeah, it's so important, I think, these friendships that we have and nurture. And we just kind of open up with everyone, you know? This is great.
Yeah, and have a laugh. Like, you'll be dead long enough, as my father used to say. You'll be dead a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Bill almost died.
On a tour. We did a book. I mean, it was just pneumonia.
Yeah.
It was just pneumonia.
Yeah.
And cancer.
Well, the cancer was not from our tour. He wants to take credit for
the cancer tour.
Yeah. The cancer tour.
Oh, bless you. But you got through it.
Yeah, you get through it. It's just like little bumps in the road that you just have to like work through and try to find some meaning behind it. Try to change things up maybe.
Yeah.
That meaning in life is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate things that maybe you didn't.
Róisín?
My dear.
I did it right?
Yes, Róisín, yes.
Nailed it. Thank you so much for becoming a friend, hopefully. And, you know, maybe we can cook. I'm going to stay with acquaintance with that smile. She's like, yeah, don't test it, buddy. But
you are more than welcome to come round for a bit of sponge anytime.
I would love a bit of sponge and maybe some tea. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
you.
And being friends, friendship is friends. Thank you.
Flirting with Friendship is produced by executive producers Nikita Stanley, Jesse Rogg, Craig Pettigrew, and Seth Troxler. Seth is an EP? What is going on here? Their co-executive producer is Lee Adams. Aaron Kulik is our live production director. He's also a VFX and motion graphics supervisor. Our director of photography is Lucas Strebel. Yes, we filmed this. You can go watch it on YouTube. Which brings me to Veronica Gessa, our incredible set designer, also known as Moki Baby or Moki. Check her work out. It's really incredible. Again, watch it on YouTube. Our editor is Tyler Christie. Our sound design and original composition is by Jasper Van Dyke. Seth was our music supervisor. Wait a second. No, he's not. I'm pretty sure I was. Not sure why Seth is getting all these credits. Anyways, who else? Our camera operator is Joseph Holton, aka NYX. A lot of nicknames here. Our camera assistant is Jake. I don't know Jake's last name. Sorry about that, Jake. It's Jake Smith. Our production sound mixer is Joel Yule. And last but not least, big thank you to our team at Kizzy Music for all of our additional music, and to TV Store Paris for their help in our set design. That is it. I'm out of here. Bye. Yo, is this still on? If you're still listening, you either really like this show or your AirPods are somewhere in a washing machine. Either way, thanks for sticking around. That was Flirting with Friendship, and we're doing this again week after next on Tuesday and every other Tuesday after that, unless the grid collapses or Seth forgets what day it is. Once again, this was a Stratasonic production. Yes, somehow this is professional. And I'm legally obligated to tell you to follow us on all social media platforms at Flirting with Friendship. Watch the video podcast on YouTube, subscribe, leave a review, rate the show, and send it to someone else. Remember, be good to your friends. And if you can't be, well, call us and tell us why. 866-608-BFFS. Seriously, we have a phone number. Bye.